What would you do, Mr. Wright? Would you change justified self-defense? Nah, because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. What do you mean? No, plead not guilty. If we plead justified self-defense, we'd basically be confessing to a murder. After the trials, my life would be destroyed and she'd be labeled as a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We'll accept nothing short of a complete acquittal. My finger hurts. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright, detective. Oh, detective! Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir. Now, see here, proceedings are run by... Yeah! Oh yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. She has a whip. I think the court would like to hear about the other, piece of incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's even more incriminating pieces of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was no fighting back. Alright. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence on the backspray of blood on this. This piece directly links my fate to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts it into the evidence. Maya's costume. Excuse me. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on the other clothes. On her clothes? Could this situation get any worse? What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to suck off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name, it's disturbing. Incriminating evidence! Banana muffin! Keep going. Sorry, pal. Alright, let's press that. Hold it. Why didn't you say it on your testimony earlier? You're kinda scary today, you know, pal. Come now, Mr. Wright. There's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. What the fuck is going on here? Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that. There's a costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. Alright, let me create a new save. Create a save. Create a new recording? I can't create a new save. That's fucking ridiculous. What is this, a video game? You can't create new saves on Nintendo DS's, especially this game. Alright, hold it. My earpiece is falling out. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when she was arrested. When you arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? What? As you see, it's covered in blood. Ah, yes. Hold it! Hold it! The blood on the costume. Lab results show that it's the victim's blood. So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. Were there any other clues you could glean from the piece of evidence? Objection! If you must change the topic, then good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time to move on. Yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on our side. But if I bite off more than I could chew here, what else should I do? I should press further regardless. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. You guys have no idea how objections are used in court, do you? Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Alright. There must be a clue somewhere on this costume. There's a fucking hole in it. I just noticed that right now. There's a hole in it. What the hell is that? Just have to look harder. Mr. Wright. Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it. Ha! Ah! Looks like my time is up, so about that costume. There's one little thing. Your Honor? Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where's the problem you're talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. This collar. This collar is dreadful. The stitching? Ugh. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeves of this costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole that just smells faintly of gunpowder? Gunpowder? No one even told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Ah! Your Honor, the only logical conclusion that you can make is that you can make this, it must be the bullet hole. I read that wrong. So fucking wrong. So fucking wrong. I got nervous and I skipped ahead. That always happens. Order, order. This is very grave matter. It's best if we correct the court record first before anything else. My cup said sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. God damn it, I could never rely on you guys. Closed my eye was wearing at the time of the murder. Touched the check phone to see for my details. I didn't even get to know that. I saw it when they were showing it for the first time. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. The tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That, just now, was a fluke, nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. While I agree it's a mistake on the part of the police, what Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way! Detective Jim Shue, please continue your testimony. Yes, sir. Alright, the defendant attacked and killed the person. With no fighting back? Hold it! Hold it! He wasn't fighting back? How do you know that he wasn't, or what he was or wasn't? He would find no evidence that would that the victim put up any struggle of any sort, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically. We're in real trouble now. If I only had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That Von Karma, she thinks she can decide a verdict with the testimony alone. I have to somehow find a critical contradiction and then I'll have her. Sorry, pal, but there is even more incriminating piece of evidence. Hold it! Why didn't you say in your earlier testimony? You're kind of scared today. Oh, whoa, what's going on here? Oh, you just added that. Over into the car. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, with no fight back. How do I... 2 shots fired. It bears Maya's and Gray's fingerprints. There's 2 shots. One fruit knife belongs to Faye Bear. Bears Maya's fingerprints. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Was not fighting back. But isn't the blood all covered in... Well, isn't the blood all covered in knife? Is the knife all covered in blood? And her clothes are all covered in blood, too. So if she killed him, would have been stabbing and shout. she shouted at him and his brain exploded from within and bloated. Yeah? No? I don't even know, man. I don't even want to... Objection! Detective Gumshoe. Oh, if you want to know my thinking about it, it's pretty much what I thought. The thought process was pretty much, you said there's no fighting back, but yet she got blood on herself. So the stabbing happened, he fought back, then the gunshot happened. Not stab, gunshot. It's stab, fought back, gunshot, because there was blood on him. So he was either holding her down, or, you know, grabbed onto her, and the blood gushing out of him, the blood leaking out of him, got onto her, right? Yes. Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole your police overlook supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is that what it means to not fight back? Durr, I guess what I was going for is kind of dumb, but I guess you could get blood on yourself if you stab someone. Even though I never stabbed someone, I've seen horror movies where fucking their blood shoots out like it's Gantz or something. You're right! It would seem that way. If they had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Oh, well, it wouldn't be how the person killed them. It would be a way to get around it. And I guess what Wright did was a good way to get around it. Instead of explaining how the killing happened, I'm thinking totally wrong on it. Alright, so my thought process was wrong, but yet I got the good outcome. Oh well. Oh well. What is with that? Are you finished yet? Laugh. Are you finished yet, Mr. Wright? Miss Von Karma. It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, this is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. This is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. The rejected justified self-defense was plead not guilty. Now that you're... Why, that's right. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No! Well, well. Yes, that's true. Fucking curtsies. Furthermore, just the fact that there's a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Ah! Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. What the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Ah! Yes, sir, right away! Witness testimony. What transpired? During the, I don't know, I'm feeling really sick right now. I'm having, like, hiccups and burps, and they're not feeling good. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of the strength to fight back, sir. When the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot. Because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took a victim's gun, and ended it. Ah. Excuse me. This scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, just by listening, it does make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, you cross-examination, please. Yes. What transpired? She got a little mole. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab him with the victim in the chest. Hold it! There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. You think you could get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the current channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the current channeling technique. Slap! Boom! Yeah, it looks like there's a kink in your whip right where you're holding it with your, your left hand, but whatever. Right hand for the viewers, but left hand if you're actually her. Actually, no, that would be the right hand. Whoops. I told you I'm losing the distinction between left and right. I think I'm dying. Like I said before, I'm perfect. About what you were talking about, I don't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. Alright. Of course the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. Alright, hold it. Hold it! So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. Well, if you think about it, the blood loss, it was pretty bad. How bad would you say it was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterwards I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 minutes to dizziness. Ah! Sorry. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Hold it. Which gun, sir? Where in the world did the pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specially bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. What? Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Hold it! Hold it! Hold it there, pal! So you're saying that the bullet hole in the costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when the shot was fired. I'm really glad you aren't hurt. The defendant then picked up the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Hold it! Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it by pulling the trigger. Even me, I wonder. Curtsy. Now do you understand? Avon Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. There's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. The gun, maybe? The gun, the 2 shot? We comprehend that I just 2 shots, alright? Oh shit. Oh god, I hope I didn't do anything. It fell off my leg. Fight. Alright. I don't think this has to do anything to do with her, right? We're not talking about that. Maybe with the bullet hole? Maybe? I'm not exactly sure. At the time. Bullet hole. The shot came from behind it? Or through it? Wasn't there a... If they were on the right side of the... Well, they would be the south side. If they were on the south side, behind that area, they shot, they could miss and hit the guy. The victim took a shot, but they were too close. He missed. Too close. If you shoot too close... If you shoot too close, there's burn marks, but there's no burn marks on her clothes, right? I don't see any. There's that just black hole, so maybe that's it? Missing the tiny hole on this costume. Will be the prosecution's undoing. Yeah. What do you mean? The little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said that the 2 of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then the gunpowder burn if that were true, then where's the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank and a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh! But there's not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. That is a very good point. And what exactly does that mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you could punch a hole in that logic with that? With that wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of the fight, the victim pushed the defendant away, and it was then when they were separated, he fired. How was that? As if that's even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was severe. The victim would have not had the strength to push the defendant very far away after that. Well, then... That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space before the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There. That should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Duh! 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 Okay! Oh god. It's only gonna take me a little bit. There's a fatal flaw in your argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Flaw? Yeah! Very interesting. I would love to see where this fatal flaw is. Fatal frame? What? Huh? Oh. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took a shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts the line of thinking. Ugh, my back. She rushing up to make the final shot. Thinking about it. Alright. Alright, there's something wrong. We're talking about bullet holes right now, right? So how about we go with something with a bullet hole? I don't know. Take that! This is a piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that, a folding screen? I would like to point the court's attention at the hole in the folding screen. Ugh. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... when the shot was fired, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but she was actually squatting low to the ground. Ah. Order! Order! This changes everything. Please let's look at the diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit the folding screen. It hit this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in the area. Would it be right there? Would it be right there? Alright. Can I present? Somewhere around here. Uh-oh. His face just scrunched like he just smelled some serious bad breath. That is, I mean... Wait, I just realized I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up. Sure. In the meantime, I want you to think of things through again, Mr. It should be right there. No! Fuck you! God damn it. Is it supposed to be on the tippy top corner? Right here? Yeah? I don't know. Okay, she was standing here, near the folding screen. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole, but how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You of all people should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort in the around the bullet hole of this costume. Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you. I believe it's now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways before the victim was shot. She was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? It changes everything. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If this were true, delivering the final strike with a knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at that time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, Why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? My headphone just fell out. Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured that had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the... blast radius to disaster. You're such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Of all the things that inherit, why did she have to be the smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How is it my fault? You can start repairing your standing by first removing the strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call the next witness. Next witness? Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Son of a bitch! Perfect time for me to relax. Hell yeah! Thank you guys for watching. I was off today, which is weird because in the previous session I was really on, and right now I'm off. I don't know. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I haven't gotten any sleep. Your right hand's on your left hand, right? What?